Thanks everyone for being here. Let's start. I think we have a nice amount of people to start. And well, you're already doing a really good job, but please keep your microphones off for the team's participants until we reach the question part. It's not going to be a very long webinar. For information on how to apply, why we do this, what you get out of it, we have done that in a webinar before this. So this is purely the program launch, and it's also a little bit of information about the week, what you need, and how to get the best experience out of it. We will share more information even after this webinar, but for now, this is a lot of information we can already share with you, and you can already ask questions about this. But if you have any questions regarding the application process, the timings, anything like that, please refer to an earlier webinar. I've just asked my colleague to share the link to the earlier webinar for it in the chat. All right. Okay. So let's see if everything works. Great. So just to share with you who is actually behind the scenes, that's us. Ian is in the chat. You see, well, he is participating here and he is covering the chat and the questions. That's Ian. And of course, that's me, Maaike. I've been doing the summer school for 5 years already, and Ian has been participating in the first edition, I think. First edition. So a very experienced summer school participant. And Dami is our event coordinator, and together we are the core team. We also have extra team members, but we'll introduce them to you later. Not in a webinar, but like in real life. All right, so when we start, I would like to share with you first off, like I said, please keep your questions with you until the end. When we have the question part, you can share the questions in the chat, but please don't start talking until the question part. Perhaps your question will be answered during the webinar before the questions even start. It will last about 20 minutes. Like I said, we'll probably go through this pretty quickly because we don't have that long. If you need to know more, please refer to an earlier webinar. There are 2 ways of streaming. I know YouTube has a delay. So if you register one of your questions in the chat, it may be that it comes a little later than you expected. And in the Teams, please keep your microphones off until we have the question part. This whole session is recorded. Also, if you turn on your video, your camera, and your microphone, you will be recorded. And for everyone who has registered for the webinar, we will share the slides with you afterwards, so you don't have to keep notes. Also be aware, we work with a lot of partners, a lot of people. Things may change. So if anything I share in this webinar has changed, it's possible. Probably not, because we've done this a lot of times, but still it's very possible because we do work with a lot of people. What this webinar is going to look like, I'm going to share with you the program, of course, that's what you're here for, but also for the week and actually not requirements for the week, just a couple of things to share, like what do you need to bring, what do you need to wear, how do you need to get anywhere, what's the timings for the week, and also what is included in the week and what is not. So if you need a hotel and you have not arranged a hotel, please do so, because we will not do that for you, for example. And also I share with you a little bit of additional information. The alumni advantages, I have talked about this beforehand, but we will touch upon it very shortly. Now, the program, it looks like this. Very large sheet, and I'm going to go through it one by one. I already see a typo. I'm really sorry for the typos. We will take them out. So, like I said, we work with people. This is not set in stone, but this is the overall idea of what we're going to do. So mainly we go to a place, we have information overload in the morning, and we have a workshop in the afternoon, with lunch in between and many, many coffee breaks, because just like you, the team also needs many, many coffee breaks. So on Sunday, easy day, as in easy, I mean, you don't have to prepare anything. Just come be your comfortable self. We have mainly introductions, and there's a team building. So it's fun, it's challenging, and it's a really good start of the week. This is all offered to you by Plant. You may have heard about this location. It's an incubation center in Leiden. So it's also about 5-minute walk from Leiden Central Station. Super easy. No place to park a car, if anyone is wondering, but easy to walk. And we will have, well, you will get to know your other classmates. You will get to know about the week. You will get to ask all your questions. There's going to be way more questions, trust me. You're going to have a really fun day at Plant. And then in the afternoon, we'll introduce the NL Space Campus. Why are we actually doing this? And what is it you get actually out of it? And how can you get the best out of this week? And then we'll introduce the project, your project team, and you get to work on your project for the first hour. So it's mainly introducing the project, getting to know the project owner, maybe contacting the project owner, things like that. And then we'll have a dinner. We'll close off with the dinner on the rooftop of Plant, unless of course it's raining, but last year it was raining, this year it will not. Then on Monday, we'll start with drones. So again, hopefully it's not raining. Let's say it's not. We'll have a drone workshop, not workshop B, and an introduction to Unmanned Valley. Like what's at Unmanned Valley, which is the drone campus, which is about 7-minute drive from NL Space Campus. After that, we'll head to the Space Business Innovation Center, which is on campus, where we'll have an introduction by SBIC about space entrepreneurship. What do they actually do? If you want to become a space entrepreneur, how do you do that? What are challenges? And then we'll have a workshop on geo and remote sensing by an expert from Twente University. Really, really amazing guy, really nice lecture. And then we'll have an introduction on prototyping. So we'll walk to Comet Lab, see what's out there, and see how the lab is actually made to build prototypes for students and startups and how you can make use of that. And we'll have a workshop about space business there. Space business is a little different from other business, and it's a really good start to think about how to incorporate this in your project. That's why we do it in the beginning of the week. And we'll end with dinner there. Then the next day, we'll have Esron. Esron is in Leiden. That means, I'm not really sure, we'll probably get a bus. And then we'll have lectures about things they do there. So what do they do there? They focus on astronomy, they focus on space instrumentation, they focus on Earth observation, and they focus on and how to incorporate that with a lot of students. So the Nebula Explorer project, perhaps there are people in here who are actually participating in the Nebula Explorer project, but it's a really interesting way of learning how you can actually be part of a satellite that's in the making at the moment. After that, we'll go to the Leidse Instrumentmakerschool and we'll have a tour and introduction. You see what kind of instruments they make. They're not musical instruments. They are lab instruments, they are satellite instruments, and a whole load of other instruments. And then you'll have project time and meet with your project owner. In the afternoon, we'll go to Airbus. We'll have a tour of the Nebula clean room. half clean room, half test center, half build machinery, where they actually create parts for Ariane. And then there is no dinner because Airbus is very strict. So it's just a tour, a little bit to get to know about what Airbus does, about the project. You need to bring your passport, you need to hand in your phone, all of that. And since the week is really, really intense, it's mainly people don't really mind that this one is a little earlier. So there's no dinner, but you can always just go on a terrace with your fellow classmates. But it's not provided by us on that day. Then on Wednesday, we'll go to Delft. And we go to Delft by ourselves, all of us, because in the center of Delft, it's really complicated to get a touring car inside that little tiny village. So it's a lot easier to take a bus, to walk, or take a bike. You can rent a bike too, but you have to be there on your own. So everyone living in Delft, lucky you. Everyone who's not, me, get there on your own. And then we'll have a lecture about composites and a lab tour in the In Holland terminal about space materials. Really cool. They have, they're trying to create a car to drive on, wow, this is, what's it called in English? Okay, never mind. They're also making an electrical plane, I think. And they have a lot of stuff. So you can see, you can touch, you can feel. So it's a really cool place. After that, we'll have a lecture about robotics and moon rovers, where we're going to be at the TU Delft then. And we're also going to have then at the TU Delft a lecture of space exploration by a professor from TU Delft. And then after that, full-on TNO afternoon. So there will be an introduction in the instruments they make. There will be a tour in the TNO location. There will be a workshop and you can win things. There will be pitching. There will be an entire afternoon. After that, we'll go to Dawn. Dawn is a company that creates launching systems. So it's pretty interesting to see. It's pretty impressive. So we'll just have a tour there. They are, they're a really cool company, but they don't really have space to have dinner. So after that, we'll go to SNT, which is mainly Earth observation and defense, which is a very large company. Since they do Earth observation and defense, they have no lab, but they have a really cool team and they offer us dinner. And then on Thursday, we'll start with Leiden Law, space law, actually, but it also is at the Leiden Law faculty. So also, again, undoable to get there with a touring car. We have tried before. We're not going to do it again. So get there on your own. You can walk from Central Station, no problem. Then we'll have an introduction about space law itself and the sustainability feature. So space debris is a very, very big thing in space law. And we also have a lecture on the military use of space, also a very big thing at the moment, of course. Then we'll have project time. And after that, we will go to the old observatory where you will see two telescopes, old telescopes. They're not in use anymore, but they do still work, but it's way too light in Leiden. There's too much, too much street light, too much city light to actually have them work. But it's really cool to see and to learn and to be inside that building that is usually not open. And after that, we'll go to ESTEC. I don't think I have to explain anyone what ESTEC is, but we're going to go to the ESTEC shop, of course. And then we'll have something with young ESA. It kind of depends on what they want to share. And then we'll have drinks and have food at ESTEC. Hopefully with the young ESA, but they're also really busy. So it also really depends on the personnel who's going to be there. Friday, last day, project time all morning. Trust me, you're going to need it. You're going to want it. I do have to say you do not get grades for this, so you don't have to worry at all. This is all about broadening your experience, broadening your collaboration. It's all about knowing what's out there and growing your network. Your presentation, it's nice if it's nice, if you've thought through it, but you're not going to get a grade. So don't worry about this. Then we'll have the final presentations for the project owners at Space Expo. We'll have a tour, special tour for you. And then we'll have a group picture and we go to Leiden afterwards for the end barbecue. So the networking barbecue, we invite partners to come. Usually a lot of them are not coming because they're on holiday already, but we do invite people for the barbecue. And then after the barbecue, it's just for you guys. You have the place and we'll have a party at the field. So for you who don't know, the field is literally next to Leiden Central Station, and it's this green patch area, and we will have the party in the glass house in the green patch. So it's really just closed off from everything, so you don't have to worry about sound or it's just a really it's going to be amazing. First time we're going to do it here, first time we're together with Plant so much, and I'm really excited about this. Okay, this was the program. If you have any questions about the program, put them in the chat. We'll talk about them later. Now, we do get the question multiple times, how do I prepare in such a way that I get the most out of this experience? Actually, I think, well, I can say the regular stuff like sleep well, eat well, don't drink too much. You'll get the most out of it, literally. But you're all grown-ups, you understand. But what I think is not very clear to a lot of people, again, just this amazing quote, it's not the grades you make, it's the hands you shake. It's a network that gives you the job. So afterwards, no one is going to remember you for the grades that you made, the attention you put. People are going to remember you by the way you look, the way you talked, and if you were interested in them. So if you want a job, go talk to the experts and the teachers. If you want a job, don't come in sweatpants. If you want a job, go networking. That is the way to grow your resume, to grow your network, and to grow your career possibilities. And one of the biggest networks you have at your fingertips is your classmates. So if you feel excited to go have a beer with a classmate at the end of the day, do it. It's super valuable. Because a lot of good networking, it might take time because everyone is in the process of creating their career. But in a couple of years, we already see this in the first and the second years. In a couple of years, it's going to be the strongest network you have. And everyone will be in the space industry. And everyone will have this launching pad of the summer school. So this is a really good network to be in. So just being there is already really good for your network. What do you need to bring? Well, like I said, first impressions count. Maybe you want to leave your sweatpants at home. Everyone, people can say to me, it makes sense, right? Yes, but still every year people come in their sweatpants. So up to you. I would advise not to. Also, we try to fill everyone's bellies amazingly, but sometimes people are very, very hungry. If you have a large appetite, bring stuff with you. During the week, it's nice to bring a laptop, or at least have one of your project group bring a laptop. Take your public transport card, which now you can also use a debit card, of course, and bring your passport. Bring your passport. Yes, we have sent people home before because they did not bring their passport. Yes, we have sent people home before because they thought their driver's license was good enough. It's not. So bring your passport. You can also bring your ID card if you're Dutch, but bring your passport just in case. Okay, you need it in Esron, you need it in Airbus, you need it in Estec. Any more places? I don't know. TNO, you need it at TNO. So you do not get in if you do not bring it. And again, if you don't know what it means to wear professional clothing, just don't show too much skin because, well, that's not what people do in the office. And it's a very office-like sector. So Google casual chic and you will know. Right, some extra information. If you have given us dietary restrictions, it will be followed. We are, however, people. People make mistakes, but we want you to survive the week. So we'll try our really, really best to do everything you've asked. But if something needs to change, go talk to us. Please talk to us. If something happens, you feel really uncomfortable, as in, you told me I have to be there all the time. It's really good for my career. Of course. But if your dog passed away, if your sister's wedding, super important, it's okay. Come talk to us. Also, I can hear you say, but I want to know about the projects. I haven't seen anything about the projects. You're right. No one has. No one has. So no one is before you. We will send it 2 weeks before the program. We will share with you information and you get to pick your top 3 and we will create teams. They will be announced on the first day. Also, again, this program, when we finalize it completely, we'll put it into a website which you can actually access with your phone. Super easy. We'll share the link in the WhatsApp group and you can always see this, and if anything changes, we'll just update the website through the week, and you'll always have the last information about it. The WhatsApp group is very active. We use it very much. So use it, and you can already start. Are you looking for a place to stay? Are you want to already connect? Maybe share your LinkedIn, or maybe share who you are. You can, because the WhatsApp group, well, is already live. If you're not in there, please do so. If you do not use WhatsApp, reach out to us and we'll reach you on SMS or email throughout the week. But usually we'll see each other in the morning and then we'll see each other all day. So it'll work out. You're not the only one who do not use this WhatsApp, so don't worry. All right, that was it for now. I hope I got a lot. I'm going to open the chat now and see if a lot of people asked questions. Can I only bring my ID or is a passport also needed? Yes, it's needed, like I said. Oh, but you have a Dutch ID? I guess if you're called Koedijk, you have a Dutch ID. That's okay. Yes, then that's okay. I know some Dutch people only have an ID and they don't have a passport. But as long as it's Dutch and not French, then it's okay. Okay. I see people typing, so there must be a couple more questions coming. No? No. Well, you can also talk to me. You're allowed to talk now. I mean, turn on your microphone. Okay. If there's no questions, then with this, I think we can close the webinar. Thank you for being here so much. Yes, we'll share more information. Yes, we'll share the link and the recording with you. We'll also share the slides. we're not gone. Our team is also part of the WhatsApp group. You can also always ask all your questions in the WhatsApp group. You can stalk us, please don't. But we'll be together for 6 days straight in a couple weeks. So we'll see you then, and I wish you a very good night. Bye-bye.